do you think that there has been times in the past where they have entered Bonetown population, them too, and like they've been interrupted a million times. Like the mom is like knocking on the door.
Yeah.
The dad is like knocking on the door. The brother is knocking on the door. Everybody's knocking on their door. And so eventually, and this happens like 5 times before Freddie Mercury was like, you know what? I got to resort to murder.
Hello, content hounds. The Lyric Boys are back. I'm Lucian
Love
Flores.
that phrase.
And with me is my friend Andrew Stieglitz. Andrew,
Friend
say
and
hello.
fellow content hound as well.
Yes. This episode, we are talking about the band Queen. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 wild, ridiculous, very funny, very comical, insane Queen lyrics. We're going to talk about them. We're going to make jokes. We are going to share stories. We're going to dive into these lyrics and we're going to have a good time. And you are going to have a good time too.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you're a content hound.
for anyone at home who doesn't know the band Queen, well, they are one of the biggest bands of the last century. But in case you don't know who they are, Andrew, can you tell our audience about Queen? Tell them about Queen, please.
Yeah, in case your head has been jammed up your ass crack your whole life, let me tell you about one of the biggest bands in the entire world.
Wow.
Queen is a... Wikipedia would tell you that Queen is a British rock band formed in London in 1970, right? That's what Wikipedia would tell you. I'm telling you to question everything right now. Take everything that your mother, your father has tried to tell you about Queen and throw it out the window, because not only are they a rock band, but they have many genres.
Cool. Tell me more about Queen.
Yeah, I will tell you more. They have many genres. They can go from like psychedelic, cool, crazy sound to like a 1930s jazz song to opera to hard fucking rock up your ass all in like 30 seconds of a song. I'm slightly exaggerating, but that's kind of how it is. So Freddie Mercury, the lead singer, Brian May, the guitarist, Roger Taylor on drums, John Deacon on bass. That's like their lineup that has like, I mean, later, after Freddie Mercury died of AIDS, Adam Lambert in these last 10 years has taken over as a singer. And that's who they tour with. But I don't think they've released any music with Adam Lambert.
That makes sense.
But basically, they have huge hits. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Bohemian Rhapsody. You know these hits. And if you don't, turn off the podcast because I don't want to interact with you.
If you've seen a movie that came out in the last 20 years, there's most definitely a Queen song in it.
Yeah.
And if you've seen The Mighty Ducks, there are 2 Queen songs in that movie.
Oh, shit. What songs? Tell me. Tell the content.
We will rock you, and We Are the Champions. Spoiler alert: the Mighty Ducks win the championship.
I'm gonna have to edit that out. That's not cool, man.
Just a big bleep. So what happens in the Mighty Ducks movie?
Yeah. Instead of editing, everything I don't like, I just throw a huge bleep.
Anyway, so yeah, Queen, big hits, big like. So you know, I knew Queen, and I knew, of course, all the radio hits and their big songs, but I didn't really know the nitty gritty songs in the middle of albums.
Yeah.
Like I never
they have
listened.
so many. They have so many songs, and they have so many albums. Especially like in their prime, they released so many. They would release like almost an album a year, starting in like 72, I think, is when their first album was out.
Yeah, and so listening to the Queen catalog, a couple things jumped out at me because I know them as this band that has huge theatrical, large, really fun numbers, really playful songs, really kind of whimsical moments, like Lazing on a Sunday afternoon, just like really like fun moments, right?
Yep.
So I was surprised, you know, they do have really heavy songs too. I was surprised by how tender and heartbroken Freddie Mercury seemed to be in the first couple albums. Which kind of surprised me. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of sadness, and he's just someone, to me, who comes across as such a vivacious, like excited man that is interesting to dig into that.
I mean, if anything, so there was that movie that came out a couple years ago, Bohemian Rhapsody, about Freddie Mercury's life, which sucked. But if we could say anything good about that movie, it did portray the early years of Freddie well in terms of like his like isolation and loneliness and like desire to connect and like his sexuality a little bit. So I think that like that's something that we learn a little bit of, and then you could hear it in the songs too.
Yeah. One other thing about Queen that made me laugh just listening to their catalog is they do this thing that a lot of British rock bands from the 70s do, which is have songs about like mythology and like gods and creatures. And like, so Led Zeppelin does that. Cream does that. The Kinks
Black
do
Sabbath,
that
for sure.
Yeah, Black Sabbath. Like, so I was looking at these. The names of Queen songs are Jesus. There's a song just about Jesus.
I love how you say they have songs about mythical creatures, and then immediately the first one, for example, Jesus.
Sorry. So the first couple of albums are filled with songs like this: Jesus, Great King Rat, My Fairy Kind.
Yeah.
Mad the Swine. Ogre Battle.
The Fairy Feller's Master Stroke.
Yeah. My favorite is White
That's
Queen.
about a guy jerking off, by the way.
Oh, there we go.
Master Stroke.
There's White Queen and the March of the Black Queen. So the diversity
taking
in
on
queens.
race relations.
Very nice. So just like, was there a thing that's like, if you're a 70s British band, you have to get hyped about like mythology and just like creatures, because that doesn't
about
happen
wizards
now.
And shit.
It's not like your standard rock band is putting out a song that's like, oh man, guys, like Ulysses was so totally tempted by sirens.
Imagine a mumble rapper mumbling about an ogre battle. He's like, yeah, ogre motherfucker. I don't know. That's my impression of a mumble rapper.
I love it. Yeah, so I'm just like, I feel like they stopped that at some point, but that was a whole side of Queen I did not know about at all.
Yeah, they did stop that like after their second. It was only those first two albums really, and then I feel like they were like, wow, this is really dumb. Why does there was definitely like a moment like post like 1975 Britain where everybody was like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Why did we all sing about ogres and shit?
Yeah. Just so much of it.
My view of that is that like life in Britain in like the 60s and 70s was so like not boring necessarily, but it was just so like plain that they were like, I mean, there was no like, obviously there was like hardships in humanity, but like it was just so like, right, went to the market today, had a Bugaloo was delicious.
Amazing.
I ate a watercress bibbledy-bub. And then, so in order to escape that mundane British life, they were like, what about ogres? You think ogres are cool, right?
That's just you digging into the psyche of a 1970s British man.
Yeah. Shame about
I don't know what it is,
right?
but you don't see like American bands from that era doing the same thing. Like,
no, because life in America is hard.
All right, so Andrew, you got a Queen lyric to start us off? One of our first 10 lyrics?
Boy, do I. Let me bring this up here.
Bring it up.
The first lyric I picked is from a song called Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, which we already mentioned briefly in this intro. It is a great example of how Queen has like super random genres sometimes, and it's very like 1920s sounding, this song. And the lyric is, dining at the Ritz, we'll meet at 9 precisely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. I will pay the bill. You taste the wine. Driving back in style in my saloon will do quite nicely. This is, reading this, I was like, wow, this guy is a little controlling, this narrator.
A little bit.
A little controlling. Imagine going on a date with someone and they're like, let me tell you how the date's going to go. You're going to taste the wine, okay? You're just going to taste it. I will pay the check. That's nice, I guess. We'll meet at 9 precisely. Not 9:01, not 8:59. And you will sit on the left corner of the table, facing adjacent at 45 degrees to the kitchen, in which a waiter will come out, and he will say, "Hello, how may I help you?" He will not say, "How can I help you?" He will say, "How may I help you?"
This is someone just with a strong case of anxiety who needs to like have a handle on everything. And they're like, listen, it's at 9:00. And like 9:01 comes and the person's not there and they're just freaking out. They're like hyperventilating. Their hair's all messed up. But
and then the person's like, I think I'm gonna go for the beer instead of the wine. And it's like, we arranged before. You taste the wine, okay? I pay the check. You taste the wine.
I like the idea that something happened to this person in the past where like they tasted the wine and they're like, very nice. And then they brought the wine to the table and everyone's like, this wine is objectively terrible. It is purely just cat piss. And the person's like, oh my God, okay, guys, this is the last time I taste wine again.
Yeah, or he tasted the wine on a date and that date went really well. So now every time he has a date, he's like, you have to taste the wine.
Do you feel that it's a lot of like, I'm not I don't know that much about wine. I know there's red and there's white and they're from different regions and it's made from grapes. But how do you feel when you get wine at a restaurant and the person, the waiter pours you like a nice little sip and then just watches you sip it for your okay? How do you feel in those moments?
Let me ask you, what restaurants
answer the question.
Are you going to? What I've never had a waiter to pour me wine and then stare directly into my eye sockets and be like, "How is it?"
Wait, you've actually never?
What restaurant?
You've never had?
I don't think so.
That's like a standard thing when you get wine at restaurants.
Okay, my dining experience consists of Burger King, Taco Bell. No, what do you...
Unless, like, I'm just, like, stealthily leading this, like, 1%er life that I don't know about.
Yeah,
like,
you
what
are.
do you mean you guys don't have the waiter just, like...
I have the waiter bring the wine to my entire board of directors before he gives it to me so that they can see if I'm not being poisoned. What, you guys don't live like this?
So this is the thing, if you order, like, a bottle of wine or at a restaurant, they'll, like, bring all the cups out and then... the like bartender or sorry the waiter goes to the person who looks like the most like senior member of like the table and just pours them a little wine and the person takes a sip and is like, yep, it's good, and then he pours the rest of the glass and pours glasses for everyone.
you are the 1%.
This is a thing that happens. Let's move on.
With like fucking Bill Gates.
The weird all right. It's the thing that happens. The awkward thing about like this though is like they're like sometimes the waiters just like give it to the man instead, and it's like kind of sexist. It's like, I don't know why you want me to like try this wine. Like, I am not the wine expert.
The way you're describing these restaurants, it literally sounds to me like maybe they segregate the restaurant too. Like that's how like.
Just like
white and rich it is.
I've seen this in the U.S. I've seen this in Italy. I've seen this in like this happens.
Wow, way to country drop.
Country drop, yeah. All right, so let me do a song.
Hit me.
So I got a song for you, and it's called "Tie Your Mother Down."
I picked this song too.
Amazing. So this is from A Day at the Races.
Yes.
And so the whole song is basically. Well, I'll just say a lyric. Tie your mother down. Tie your mother down. Send your little brother swimming with the brick. That's all right. Later in the song, tie your mother down. Lock your daddy out of doors. I don't need him nosing around. Tie your mother down. Tie your mother down. Give me all your love tonight.
Yeah, and then later in the song, I'll throw in the lyric that I have too, because it's the same song. Later in the song, it goes, "Oh, your mammy and your daddy gonna plague me till I die. They can't understand it. I'm just a peace-loving guy."
Okay, so a lot to break down, but essentially this song boils down to literally go out, kill your brother, lock your dad outside of the house, tie up your mom, just so we can have sex tonight, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe the person he's having sex with is there are two roads I see this going down. The person he's having sex with is really into this type of like bondage and terrible things happening to other people, and that's the only way they can get aroused, right?
Okay.
The other road I see this going down is but the other road I see this going down is actually way more problematic than that. And it's just that Freddie Mercury is straight up non-consensual.
I don't think that's what it is, because the way I read this, and not to get super analytical, but he's basically saying like this song is being delivered to like one person, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, listen, we're gonna get down tonight. That feels pretty consensual, like that relationship.
Yeah. Good. But, that's what I want. Okay.
But we cannot have your brother listening. We can't have your dad stopping us. We can't have your mom stopping us. It's basically just like these are the barriers from you and me to go to Bonetown, USA, population us two. Yeah. And it's your family members. And I just like, basically like, yeah, to me, it's just like you must do everything you can to stop your family.
Now, here's the question. This begs the question then. Do you think that there has been times in the past where they have entered Bonetown, population them too, and like they've been interrupted a million times? Like the mom is like knocking on the door. Yeah. The dad is like knocking on the door. The brother is knocking on the door. Everybody's knocking on their door. And so eventually, and this happens like 5 times before Freddie Mercury was like, you know what? I got to resort to murder. I can't have this happen again.
It's also like the dad gets to be locked out of the house. He gets the best side of the deal. He could just like go to the bar and drink away his issues. The mom is getting tied down, which she's still gonna hear everything. She's just tied down. He can't do anything about it. And then the brother is swimming with the brick. So he's being killed mafia style.
The brother, I imagine, is probably the most annoying character in this.
He knocks twice.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't listen to them being like, we're occupied.
When just listening to the song, I'm like, wow, maybe just find another place to do it or another time. Maybe you don't need to involve homicide to get it on.
Do you think he proposed this idea to the significant other, or do you think he was like immediately he resorted to full-on murder instead of just being like, hey, do you want to go somewhere else?
They're like, what should we do about this? And he's like, okay, I'll go first. Dad, outside. Mom, we're going to tie her down. Your brother, we're killing. Then we can do it. And then she's like, okay. I was thinking maybe we can get like a hotel room. Or my place like that. And he's like, yes. Yep. That's also good. That's definitely much better than mine. You're so smart. You really are so smart.
I think also he was really looking for an excuse to kill all these people, and he found it in the fact that they knock on the door while they're having sex. Like he immediately didn't like them, and instead of being like owning it and being like, yeah, I don't like these people, he's just like, give me one fucking reason not to tie you down and throw you in a river. And then they knocked on the door, and he's like, there's my reason. That's it.
What a man. So are we counting that as your second lyric, and now it goes to my second lyric?
Let's count that as my second lyric. I mean, I could do another one, but I won't. The content hounds, they need to get on with their day. So let's move on.
Wow, they really need to hear this deliberation. So my second lyric is the song Delilah from the album Innuendo from 1991.
Oh, that's a super late album.
Yeah, it's very late. So this song is cheesy. Just going to say that. I
do not know this song or this album at all.
It's a little cheesy. This album is very, like, the couple songs I heard from these later Queen albums, I actually enjoyed with their, like, big synth. It's the type of synth that is, like, so big and large. I can, like, picture
very 80s.
The person making that, like, facial expression that's like, wow. And, like, they're wearing, like, big sunglasses, like, every time. Like, those music videos, there's always, like, the synth player just, like, wearing like Wayfarers being like, ooh, and that's like the vibe I get. But it's about Freddie Mercury's cat, Delilah. So
okay,
yes. So the lyric is, You make me so very happy when you cuddle up and go to sleep beside me. And then you make me slightly mad when you pee all over my Chippendale suit. You take over my house and home. You even try to answer my telephone. Delilah, you're the apple of my eye. Meow, meow, meow. Delilah, I love you. Delilah.
This sounds like a man just breaking down and going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so
he goes from singing an ogre battle and like dragon attack to meow.
Yeah, it's like Delilah. So one thing I had to
also.
Yeah,
okay, go.
One thing I had to look up what Chippendale suit was, and that apparently is just really old antique furniture. So this cat has basically peed all over his antique furniture. And he's like, whatever, you run this place.
So when you were reading this lyric, which I was reading it at the same time as you, I wish that you hadn't said it was about his cat, because I saw the line, when you pee all over my Chippendale suit, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then it said, so my impression of this was, you make me slightly mad when you pee all over my Chippendale suit. You take over my house and home. You even try to answer my telephone. I thought this was just about like a normal, like a relationship.
Like a torrid love affair that just got
the girl is like peeing all over the place, and he's like slightly upset about that. And then she tries to answer the phone, and he's like, listen, you could pee on my Chippendale suit, okay? That's fine. Don't even fucking think about touching my telephone.
And then he just says meow a bunch. So I thought
I didn't notice that part, actually.
If you listen to this song on like the song itself, the meow is really drawn out and it's very fun. It's kind of like meow, and I like it. So to me, this is, the Beatles song Martha, My Dear.
Yeah, which is about Paul McCartney's dog.
It's about Paul McCartney's sheepdog Martha off the White Album, right? And that is like a very sweet, very playful romp of a song. Really fun, and it's about McCartney's sheepdog. And I feel like that is like how you do a really good song about your pet. And this is like a little bit on the more like, this is a little more obvious version of that. Like in Martha, My Dear, Paul McCartney was just like, Martha, my dear. Yeah. Like, okay, like it's clearly a dog, right? There's nothing else it could be.
Paul McCartney barking like DMX raps. You know the way DMX raps sometimes, where he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So but despite the cheesiness, it's very heartwarming and sweet. It's like this man loves his cat.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
I am gonna go ahead and pretend it's not about a cat, and I'm just gonna picture a woman answering the phone and Freddie Mercury going fucking crazy. But then he finds pee in the bed and he's like, you made me slightly mad, but that's okay. Everybody can have their own interpretation, all right? Let me have mine.
Yeah. All right, give me your third queen.
I just hurt my throat doing that.
Lyric. Andrew is coughing after he barked like DMX.
All right, let me give you my third lyric. Here's a song off the album A Night at the Opera, which is where my first song was off of too. I should mention that. This song is called I'm in Love with My Car. It's kind of infamous in that it's like so weird. So the lyric is, I'm in love with my car, got a feel for my automobile, get a grip on my boy racer roll bar, such a thrill when your radials squeal, told my girl I'll have to forget her, rather buy a new carburetor. Here's the question I'd like to pose to you.
Pose it?
You ready for this question?
I'm ready for this question.
Have you ever seen a car so nice?
I know where this is going immediately. And the answer is not only do I think that, I have done that.
Give me the story.
I once saw this nice 2008 Pontiac Aztek, and I said, hey there, you pretty lady or man or non-binary vehicle, whatever you are, whatever you identify as. Can we do it? And the car said nothing because it's an inanimate object. And then I did the car, and now I have a baby. Anyway, no, I don't think
that's how the Cars universe was born.
That's how the Cars universe was born. I do not tend to think of cars in sexualized ways. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I wish
I think Lightning McQueen is a fucking snack.
Yeah, definitely a snack. I think, there's like sometimes the cars are really loud and they roar, and like some people are like, ooh, listen to that baby purr. That's not me. That's definitely not me. When a car is
Nobody
really loud,
has said that since 1958.
when a car makes a really loud engine noise, I'm just like, God damn, why can't you be more quiet?
Mm-hmm.
That's really loud and my ears hurt.
Me too.
There's also, there's just another lyric in this song that I noticed. Those cars don't talk back. They're just four-wheeled friends now. And I like that as well, because so first of all, this is not even Freddie Mercury singing, right? Is this Roger Taylor?
Yeah.
I like his voice a lot. I think it's fun. I think he has a couple other songs, right? That I do like that. I do like just how in depth he goes with his description of the car. It's very sexualized, and I do like that his number one thing is they don't talk back. He's got to work out something.
He gets mad at his girlfriend, and he's like, I'm gonna go spend some time in my car, and she's like, how dare you cheat on me with the car? And he's like, well, cars don't talk back, woman.
I think, yes, that happens. I think what happens is when Roger Taylor takes his car to the mechanic and he's like, listen, mechanic, this car needs an oil change. And the mechanic comes out with a nice, listen to the joke. The mechanic comes out with two cups and a nice little bottle of motor oil, and it pours a little motor oil in one cup and gives it to Roger Taylor to taste. And then Roger Taylor's like, yes, this motor oil is good. And the mechanic's like, good choice, sir. And then just pours 2 nice glasses of motor oil.
Nice callback to the wine.
Yes.
Doesn't everybody's mechanic do that? Also, I was going to say, he brings it to the mechanic, and the mechanic opens the hood, and he's like, this car is filled with jizz. There's no motor oil in here. It's just cum.
Yeah, it's like you take the car to the mechanic. You're like, sir, ma'am, whomever, Mr. Mechanic, this car doesn't run anymore. And the mechanic like pops up in the hood and it's like, it is filled to the brim with cum. And that's why it does not start. Okay.
And the guy's like, well, I don't know where that came from. I mean, the last guy I took it to, he must have been up to something.
I think that's glue. Are you sure that's just not Elmer's? I had an art project for adult night school, and I made a big mistake, and I'm driving away now, but my car won't start, so I'm just jogging. I'm running full blast out of this mechanic shop. You can keep my cum car if you want it. All right, so let's do my third lyric. That sounds good. So this song is from the 1989 album, The Miracle. And
another super late album that nobody listens to except for you.
Except for me for this podcast.
No offense,
to find
Queen.
ridiculous Queen lyrics.
Okay.
This song is also, it's called The Miracle as well.
Yeah.
This song is also, in general, just pretty cheesy, but pretty fun, but ridiculously cheesy. And so the whole song is just naming things that are like beautiful and awe-inspiring. And it's like, wow, that's a miracle. So, for example, we're having a miracle on Earth. Mother Nature does it all for us. The wonders of this world go on. The hanging gardens of Babylon. Captain Cook and Cain and Abel. Jimi Hendrix to the Tower of Babel. Babel. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. So yeah.
Wow. Is it a miracle?
It's just about miracles. Other things mentioned, Sahara deserts, all God's creation.
This sounds like a
Golden Gate, Taj Mahal,
yeah,
open heart surgeries, Mona Lisa, everything. What does it sound like a precursor?
This sounds like a precursor to the Insane Clown Posse song, Miracles.
Exactly what I thought when I listened to this.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a listener, if you're a content hound of this podcast and you don't know the Insane Clown Posse song Miracles, it came out in, I want to say, like 2010, because I definitely have memories of like being a freshman in college and everyone being like, what the hell is this song? This is hilarious. Yeah. So Insane Clown Posse is a band of like 2 white boy rappers that dress like clowns. And they're actually secretly...
They're juggalos.
They're juggalos. They're secretly Christian, and they pour soda, Faygo soda, on audience members of their shows. And so they have this song called Miracles, and it's similar to this. It's just a listing of things, and those things are like miracles, and it has the infamous line, fucking magnets, how do they work? Which is amazing, and clearly like a worse version of this song, but similar vibe. And
Yeah.
I like that Jimi Hendrix gets a shout out, as does on this like similar, like, oh, there's the Gardens of Babylon. Jimi Hendrix is like, yes, same level of
Same
miracle.
level. Yeah. Captain Cook from... Wait, what is Captain Cook?
Famed British explorer, I believe. I had to Google it too.
Okay. Captain Cook, and then like what, the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
On the same... Yeah, I wouldn't quite put those two on the same level, especially because I've heard of one of those things and not the other.
It's like, oh man, you know it's a miracle, the pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah,
and
or it's just
also like, when pizza comes to your house in 20 minutes.
Man, this beer right now is a miracle. These napkins, miracle. This microphone, the way it takes my voice and puts it over to your screen, miracle. This water, how it hydrates me, miracle. This cup, how it holds the water, miracle.
This reminds me of this video I've seen of this man, this super Christian man that's like, listen, look at this banana. And he talks about a banana in so much detail because he's like, this banana proves God's creation. He's like, the banana. And it just like gets very sexual because like it's a banana, but he like holds it and he's like, look, the peel for protection. And he's like, but it's curved so perfectly you can fit it in your hand.
This
and
is the most repressed gay person. He's so close to whipping out a dick and being like, look how perfectly veiny.
That he is also a miracle. Give me your fourth lyric, buddy.
Lyrics, a miracle. My fourth lyric is from the song. Oh wow, I'm just realizing I picked a lot from Night at the Opera, but that's like their best.
It's a good album.
So
it's like one of their more classic albums.
Yeah,
I went off the board,
Bohemian Rhapsody
so
on it.
You ground me. You know, that's the duality that people sign up for when they listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you pick random fucking shit that I'm not even sure is real, and I pick a classic 1975 masterpiece.
That's how it works.
This song is called Death on Two Legs. And it goes, insane. You should be put inside. You're a sewer rat decaying in a cesspool of pride. Should be made unemployed. Then make yourself null and void. And in a previous episode, we talked about really good insults and idols. We talked about really good insults. I think that this is right up there with Joe Talbot's style of insulting somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine
it's the
getting into a fight with somebody and they're just like, you're a sewer rat decaying in a cesspool of pride and you should be made unemployed.
It's the idol song, Don't Fight a Man with a Perm. That's like, me oh my, Roy, you look like a walking thyroid. You're one big neck with sausage hands, right? And reading this lyric too makes me feel like it's similarly just like, amazing lyric. Sewer rat decaying in a cesspool of pride.
Yeah. You should be made unemployed, then make yourself null and void. It's basically like, nobody should ever hire you. You should not have any money. You should then go homeless. And then after you're homeless, you should kill yourself.
Also, later in the song, he does say that because he says, do you feel like he says, do you feel like suicide? I think you should. Just like that would be a good idea for you, sir.
So aggressive. It's so aggressive. This song, I think, is about one of their former record executives, and I believe
it's a manager. I was looking that up. Yeah.
Yes, and I believe it is it's the same guy that. This could be wrong, but I think it's the same guy that Mike Myers played in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, because Mike Myers was in Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, he played that record executive who like didn't want them to do the song Bohemian Rhapsody. He's like, nobody's gonna listen to this shit, and I'm pretty sure that's what this song is about.
So I read that. So it's about one of the earlier managers, and after the song came out, the manager sued the band for defamation, and basically they settled out of court, and he got money, which totally proves to the world that this song is about you.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that they were hiding. I think that Freddie Mercury was like, yeah, I'm talking to you, Mr. Mike Myers guy. You should fucking kill yourself.
Yeah. So
what did he do to them? To like, he was just like, yeah, I don't think people are gonna like this song. And then Freddie Mercury's like, oh, you don't think so? I think you should stop existing.
Well, I think that's funny because in my fourth lyric transition to me and what I have to say that's clever and funny, I'm going to talk about their song Don't Try Suicide off the 1980 album The Game.
I was very close to picking this song too.
It's very funny to me that we just went from a Queen lyric that's like, you should do suicide, to a song that's don't try suicide. So the lyric is, don't try suicide. You're just going to hate it. So
that's so ridiculous. Like, it's so casual. It's like, don't smoke a cigarette. You're just going to hate it. Don't blow your brains out. At the end of the day, you're going to be like, shouldn't have blown my brains out.
So later it goes, so you think it's the easy way out. Think you're going to slash your wrist this time. Baby, when you do it, all you do is get on my tits. So basically, like, you killing yourself right now, is just like a bother to me. You know, like, you like.
Who says get on my tits?
I assume that means like get on my nerves, right?
Yeah,
like,
I know. But like, has anybody in the history of the world ever been like, dude, you really get on my tits right now?
When Gerald slashed his wrist and he killed himself, that really certainly got on my tits. Yeah. So I think it's
like, I'm really pissed off today. Why? Well, yeah, Gerald killed himself. So you're pissed off? Well, I told him not to try it. He tried it.
I told him he wouldn't like it, and he didn't. So I think it's noble. It's like, it's good. It's okay. Interesting song, because objectively, it's a good thing to probably have an anti-suicide song. That is a good message. That is that is a good thing. That is an objectively nice thing for society. But then the argument is just like, you're gonna mess it up. Like, you won't like it. It's like,
you're such a fuck up. You can't do anything right. That just trying to kill yourself, you're not even gonna get that right.
You're such an idiot. You can't even do suicide. And it's like, it's an interesting argument to make. There's another version of this song that's like, don't try suicide. You have so much to live for. Yeah. Versus like,
but this version is like, I'm just going to have to clean up the mess afterwards. And it's really going to get on my tits, man.
I'm curious if this works better than the other message, though. Who knows?
if they're like, the only reason I'm going to not try suicide is because I don't want to bother Freddie Mercury right now. He's got a lot on his mind.
I was just standing on top of the Golden Gate Bridge thinking about how I have nothing to offer to this world. Then I was like, oh man, I'm totally going to get on Freddie Mercury's tits right now. All right, give us your fifth and final Andrew Stieglitz lick.
Oh, final. Wow, this is so...
having too much fun.
This is so sudden. I don't know how we're going to end this. All right. Okay. This... Sorry. This song is from the album. Oh, God damn it. Are you kidding me? It's from Night at the Opera, too. All my songs are from this album. Shit. All right. It's called
No One Cares.
Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon. Bicycling on every Wednesday evening. Thursdays, I go waltzing to the zoo. I come from London town. I'm just an ordinary guy. Fridays, I go painting in the Louvre. I'm bound to be proposing on a Saturday night. There he goes again. I'll be lazing on a Sunday afternoon. Now, this man's life is packed to the brim with activities. He calls himself an ordinary man. And then he's like, yeah, Fridays, I go painting in the Louvre, like every ordinary person does. I fly my chartered private plane from London to Paris. I go to the Louvre, where everybody knows my name, as they do everybody's name, because that's how ordinary people are. I paint standing in front of the Mona Lisa. And then I propose on Saturday night, I guess, to a woman that I see out in the garden of the Louvre. Just an ordinary guy.
Because, yeah. Well, so to be fair to him, it's the protagonist of the song. I feel like going from London to Paris is the equivalent of going from like New York City to Jersey. It's from going to New York City to the IKEA Paramus. The IKEA in Paramus, sorry. You know, it's like I
feel like it's not that much.
You just take a tunnel. You take a bridge, you're there. So I also have a question about this song. I was thinking about this person just painting in the Louvre, and I was wondering, do you think that's like them thinking that's how they can get their art on the wall? They're just like, listen, every day I come here, sunrise to sunset, I'm painting in the Louvre. And one day, Da Vinci or Monet is going to walk by and be like, kid, you're doing an amazing job. Why don't you put your painting up on that wall?
15th century artists.
Well, yeah, I imagine this person doesn't know they're dead or just like wants the recognition.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
this
like,
person is so out of touch.
I put my time and effort in. When am I going to get my shot? Do you think it's like that? Or do you think they just are simply having a nice day painting paintings of paintings?
Well, I think they're like, yeah, I'm an ordinary person just like everybody else, right? I have a chartered private helicopter. I waltz in and around the zoo with the monkeys because they let me into the private entrance. But I'm an ordinary guy. Like, that's what they do to everybody.
I remember in 5th grade, I had a conversation with this kid in my school, and we were talking, we're chatting, we're shooting the 5th grade shit. And he was like, the average salary of an American is definitely like $100,000.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, that's probably not the average salary. It's probably a lot lower than that. And he's like, it's 100% $100,000. He's like, I cannot even fathom not making like $100,000.
This kid's in 5th grade. He's like, I make $100,000 now. In 5th grade.
By the time I graduate high school, I'm totally going to be hitting 7 digits, right?
Jesus.
It's like a 4th grader going to a school or going to like the school cafeteria. And it's like, what do you mean you don't take cryptocurrency? You guys don't have Ethereum up in this bitch? Sorry. That was me going for a catchphrase that will just not land.
I don't know what it was, but I like it.
I don't know what it was too. I am a terribly ashamed audience at home, but when I talk in a deeper voice, I feel like I got authority. Anyway, you ready for my 5th and final lyric?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like this is a bit short. Oh, I got a couple of YouTube comments we can go through after you give me the lyric.
Well, speaking of YouTube, when I went to this song's music video, which I'm not even going to say the song yet, I just want to give this warning. The YouTube page said, this video might be inappropriate for some people. And I clicked on, I understand, and I wish to proceed. Wow. My question is, Andrew, this lyric I'm about to say, this song, it might be inappropriate for some people. Do you wish to proceed, and do you understand?
If it's too inappropriate, if I deem it too inappropriate, I'm going to throw up an entire censor bar over this whole thing. People are just going to hear beep for like 30 more minutes.
I will leave it to the audience at home. Audience at home, if you understand and you wish to proceed, continue on. If you don't, you can take out your headphones and go outside and pray to your God.
What could be so possibly inappropriate?
So the song is Bicycle Race.
What?
So no, the reason it's inappropriate is the music video is a bunch of naked women riding around on bicycles. So YouTube was like, Lucian, I don't think you want to see a bunch of naked women riding around on bicycles. And I was like, thank you for thinking about me, YouTube, and looking out for my best interest.
Lucian, I don't think you're ready to get aroused right now.
So the lyric from Bicycle Race is, you say black, I say white. You say bark, I say bite. You say shark, I say, hey man, Jaws was never my scene, and I don't like Star Wars. So classically,
the original like Twitter troll, right?
Yes. Classic contrarian. Stieglitz and I both went to film school. Heard of it? And we definitely went
you know what? People think that too in film school. They're like, I'm in film school. Are you aware that I make art?
Are you aware of movies? I go to school with people who also want to make Hubie Halloween, just like me. But there were definitely people in our school that were like this. That were like, any popular movie, they're just like, no, that's not my art. But this is,
and people would say that like Shrek is not art, and we would get into highly contentious debates about it.
Who would dare think that? What trolls? So this person is this narrator of this song, this protagonist is clearly such a contrarian, right? One person says black, they say white. One person says bark, they say bite. But then when someone says shark, they were like, hey man, okay, like Jaws, I don't like that movie, and I hate Star Wars. So it's like all this person is, you know, that there's definitely a time in your life, and for me this is maybe like 2010, early college, like freshman, when I was like, there were bands I didn't like, and that defined my taste in things for a while. I was like, this band is not a band I like, and well, that defines me. So to me, this is like that type of person that's like, listen, he's waiting for any moment to like shit on things, and it's like, you said shark, well, I hate Jaws, and it's like similar. It's like, okay,
yeah, oh my god, dude, there's so many, just like especially online these days, there are so many people that are like, you said the word vacuum, well, that makes me think of sucking, and you know what else sucks? Jaws.
Exactly. Amazing. Yeah, it's like, okay, there's a bug in my apartment. You're like, bug? A beetle? The Beatles? The most overrated rock band of 4 Philistine untalented artists from an overrated country of England. And guess what? I also really don't like The Simpsons.
Just the whole country. It's overrated.
Yeah.
I love how you could just boil down an entire ancient culture and just be like, stamp overrated.
It's like I feel like that to me, the person who says that, I imagine, is like never left their town. They're from like the boonies, and they're like, why would I want to leave this small town in Kansas when I can to go to England? What do they got in England? They don't even have Walmart. I don't know. Yeah, so there was one YouTube comment that I thought was not that funny, but interesting. It was that someone was like, Freddie, as in Freddie Mercury, I want to ride my bicycle. Roger, as in Roger Taylor, I'm in love with my car. What an interesting thing to point out. Queen, normal people, fun guys, or transit hounds? You decide.
If you're a content hound, let us know. If you're a transit hound, also let us know.
So that's it.
Duke it out in the comments.
Ooh, so that's it for our 10 lyrics. You said you had a YouTube comment or two you wanted to tell me about.
Yeah, I forgot to read for Tie Your Mother Down. This YouTube comment made me laugh. It says, mother tied up, daddy locked out, brother swimming in the creek, hotel Trivago. Thought that was a great piece of a content hound-itcher.
Good SpawnCon. SpawnCon hounds. Okay, so this is the part of the podcast when we've exhausted the 10 funny, ridiculous Queen lyrics, and we just try to come up with our own Queen lyric on the spot. To be clear, we have not written anything beforehand.
I forgot about this.
This is hard, and I don't know what I'm going to do, and
I need a pen. How do we even do this? Because their lyrics are like there's so many different like styles.
This is actually hard. This is definitely harder for me for Weezers. I think I have to come at it with a very specific perspective.
All right, I got something. It's fucking stupid as shit.
I got something too. It's terrible. So we were both in a good place. I definitely felt good about some of our made up lyrics in the past, and this is definitely the one I feel the worst about.
Yeah, well, we skipped a few episodes of doing that, and I feel like we probably should have skipped this one, but we didn't.
I don't think we should ever skip it. We skipped. We forgot to do Modest Mouse. And the Beach Boys is our first episode, so we didn't think to do it.
All right, here we go.
This is Andrew Stieglitz's Queen lyric.
Picture this in Freddie Mercury's voice, where he's very like, oh, like powerful and shit, and he's just like singing about doing cool things. All right, ready? I'm a rock and roll killer. My bike or my car, I want a filler. You think you're all that and a can of beans? Well, you're not. Know why? Because this is Queen. There you go. I feel like they have like weird sayings like all that and a can of beans.
I really thought it was all that in a can of beans, and this man told me that this is Queen, and I don't think that anymore.
Okay.
I will say that lyric is better than mine. So we are clearly going to end this podcast on a high note. I wrote it on a legal pad, but baby, don't take me to court over how bad this is.
I might.
Wow, sorry. So I wrote a sequel to a Queen song that we know and love. So imagine this.
Oh shit! I didn't even think to do that. Oh my god! All right.
Imagine this is Roger Taylor's voice. I'm still in love with my car. I stare all night long. My wife's long gone, left me for a real human. But this car is all I need. I'm aged 73. They took away my license, but I still have license to get on my knees and say, marry me, please. I've married my Mazda. And we're still going strong.
Jesus Christ. The third part to that is they get divorced.
I've divorced my car. I've been betrayed by four wheels.
It actually turns out my car can talk back.
Now I love my train. Only $2.75 to ride. And then, like he's 73 in your version. Now he's like 95, and he's fucking the M train. And the conductor comes over, and he's like, "This guy again. He's literally fucking my train." Amazing way to end the episode. All right, guys, this is the end of the podcast. We were the Lyric Boys, and hopefully we still will be the Lyric Boys next week. But if we are not here, we've both died. So, listen.
We've married our cars and ran away.
Driven away. Fam, content hounds at home. If you enjoyed this content, can you please take your hands, go to the internet, type in the Lyric Boys, find us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe or follow our podcast. What's in it for you? I'm glad you asked.
Oh.
No, so much is in it for you. You will never miss a Lyric Boys episode again. And some people might think that's torturous, but we think, hey, that sounds fun. If you want to find more about the Lyric Boys, you can follow us all across social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at The Lyric Boys. We have a website, www.thelyricboys.com. That's it. If you want to sound off on anything we said today, or just want to tell us that we look pretty, or we don't look pretty, or that
you want to take a shot at fucking our cars,
I got to email Andrew about that.
Sexy little 2011 Honda Civic. That's not actually mine. It's my girlfriend's, but she doesn't.
My car and I do not swing, but you can email us at lyricboyspod@gmail.com. And that's it. We will be back next week with another amazing episode. And we just so appreciate you putting us on today. We love being here with you. We'd love it if you went steady with us. Please go steady with the Lyric Boys and subscribe.